I actually was raised in a different mainline denomination that started ordaining women earlier. I think the first women were ordained in that church in the late 50s, but you still didn't see many women. But my parents, my family went to a church where the associate pastor, who also worked with youth, was it was a woman. From that time, when I was 12, and of course she was a wonderful preacher, she had such a deep and I would say joyous faith. And she had long black hair, and she looked really great in a black Geneva gown. So, so of course that I, as a gawky 12-year-old, if anyone had asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would have said, and I did say, I want to be a writer and I want to be a minister. And that minister part never would have occurred to me if I hadn't seen a woman in that role. The thing that I would say to all people who are discerning a call is that always question what other people tell you. And I had been told, well, you know, the Episcopal Church, they have plenty of middle-aged women going into the priesthood. They really don't want any more of them. This person had told me this, and so I thought that was true, but here I was feeling this call, and so finally I was at Shrinemont, our retreat center, and I found myself alone with our former retired bishop, Bishop Susan Goff. And I hadn't really planned to, but I just sort of blurted out, am I too old to be ordained a priest? And she very kindly said, one is never too old to be called by God. And gosh, it still brings tears to my eyes. I burst into tears then. I took a class the first time I was in seminary called Women as Priests, Prophets, and Preachers. And there has been this trend, new movements spring up. And in the beginning, they're inspired by the Holy Spirit. And so all kinds of people, often it was women that would lead these new movements. And then as the movement would become institutional, oh, well, we made a mistake. Women really aren't allowed to be in this position. So, you know, and there are still denominations, obviously, that have that belief. So I am grateful for those women that are being celebrated, their courage, they're not taking no for an answer, but listening to the Holy Spirit and saying, as we're asked in the ordination, the examination, do you believe you are called to this ministry? I believe I am so called, but that's also then lifted up by the community. So.